Okay, so this should be working now. Yes, finally. Thank you. And welcome back to me. Here I am again. So as the game loads up, we can just talk about the fact that I have been busy. So I started a new job this week, and so that means that I work during my normal play times that I was doing streaming. So the streaming will be happening in the evenings, my time that is, probably in the mornings for some of you. That's okay. Now that we're back up and running, I finished my supercomputer manufacturers, and I set up 2 manufacturers here for radio control units, and I run computers into all 4 of them. I need to run crystal oscillators into these 2 right here. Let's give ourselves a little more. So, excuse me, I need to run them into these 2. So the computers are already running into here, which is nice. So, in truth, I don't need to run crystal oscillators all the way down and all the way back up when they are literally right here behind the constructor or manufacturers here. What I need to do is get this out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a splitter right here. So the input will come in and it will split out there and continue, but it'll let me have this output here that I can then route over to these 2 machines right here. So I'm going to do that. Maybe. What do I have here? That would be... I need 5 a minute. What is this output? So that would be 3 machines. 2.8. So these 2 machines here would feed these 2 machines without any problem. Maybe I'll just bring it back up. So, all right. So the computers are going into the far right. So this, I'm going to rotate this. And I think, no, it has to be here. This should come down here. All right. And then right here. All right, so we're going to be going up to this level here. So I wonder what are my options here? What can I bring up? There's really nothing here that I can bring up. Everything is crowded here. Maybe it is a good idea that I pull that stuff off. Because I also need aluminum heat sinks and rubber. I've got rubber to bring over. And I'm going to need to bring up aluminum heat sinks, which I can probably bring up here. Aluminum heat sinks are coming from over in this direction there. It should be anyway. What do I do? Take it out to the left here? Well, shoot. I take it out to the left. Okay. And I have crystal oscillators that I bring down here and go into this machine here. Right there. Okay. So then... I'm going to try to split that up top somehow. Let's see. Heat sinks. I've got rubber, crystal oscillators. So aluminum heat sinks are really the only thing I need to bring from down here. So I'm going to somehow get up here. Finally. And... yeah, we're going to take these, getting really tight in here. Okay, well, I'll set that for rubber then. And... there's going to be a splitter here. For whatever the heck's coming in there. Fine. And then I will end... let's see, this one will end here. Is that gonna work? That ain't gonna work. All right, so then... so rubber, crystal, so I'm gonna have heat sinks coming from this direction as well. I'm trying to figure out, because I'm going to have heat sinks coming from this direction over this way. And I'm going to have the crystal oscillators kind of coming over from somewhere in here. Maybe somewhere in here. How do I want to make this? My brain is freezing up here about how I want to bring this stuff in. All right, let's get the rubber flowing. So then that part will be done. See if I can get this to, actually it should be able to go up one here. So when I play in one of my friend's games, he kind of restarted. Well, he did restart, and so the game is rather fresh and doesn't have anywhere near the amount of objects that I have. And I don't have the frame rate drops in his game that I do in this one right now. So clearly there is some sort of correlation between... Come on, you can do this. There's some sort of correlation between the number of objects in the game and the amount of processing that has to happen. I mean, of course, why not? But it's kind of obvious at this point. Oh, man, it's too many connections for this thing to figure out what it needs. I have... It's trying to bend to the left here to connect to this stackable conveyor, or it tries to go to the right. Let's see if I can solve that. All right. Now I can put this back. All right. So that is feeding into both of those, so that's solved. Computers and rubber, check, check. And I don't think, now, okay. So what I need is a, I can do this. So if I put a split, too steep. It's very tight in here, and it only really works one way here to get this. Oh, there it is. Of course, I can't adjust that belt. I can't upgrade it to, say, a Mark 5 or Mark 6 or even downgrade it. Because once you get them these close and you're able to kind of snap a belt in, you can't get... okay, Hyde, no problem. See you soon. Enjoy the time with your grandmother. Things are so close you can't actually modify them. So you have to remove whatever's in the way before you can access the belt. So what I'm going to do is get a conveyor lift here because this is too high, and this will let me do this connection here. So the last connection, so the thing is though, in order for me to get this to work, I need to make this a splitter that goes in the right direction. So I want to bring in crystal oscillators. So let's say I take crystal oscillators off of this spot right here, and I do a conveyor lift up and over to the splitter. The splitter input has to be in the right direction. So I have to remove this. And then I have to place a sort of a placeholder set up here that I can put a belt on. then I can put a splitter on so that I make sure that I'm going in the right direction. So that's what I'm going to do right now. This will allow me to line up the splitter on this particular belt, and then I'll be able to have the input from the backside, outside, whatever you want to call it. So I'm going to jump up here so I can get kind of a better idea of alignments. Oops, I did that too high. There we go. Splitter. So what I'm doing is just trying to look at both sides of the splitter and how they line up inside to the pole to make sure that they're balanced, to just get an idea of where it is about centered. And you can, if you look on the left, you see there's an orange input arrow and a green output arrow on the right. So now this is aligned and set up the way we need it to be. So now I can have an input from this side where I'm removing the belt now, and put a splitter right here. So I don't know exactly where this is going to line up. So what I'm going to do is put down a conveyor lift right now. And I don't think I'm going to have enough room here for this. I'm pretty sure I'm not going to have enough room. But what I can do is put this here to give myself an idea of, hopefully, and I don't think this is going to line up. All right, let's just see how this is going to work. Pretty sure that didn't do a single thing here, but you can see they're just so close. This is not ideal. Okay, fair enough. Let's see, did this screw up the belt? No. Good. What I'll do is put the splitter a little bit farther down the line here. Now I can put this on here and rotate it this way. So now I should be able to just run that in like this. Okay, now we're getting what we wanted out of that. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 machines that can feed those oscillators into those two. I only need 5 a minute per machine, so that's 10. And I've got more than 10 coming in there right now. That'll be fine. Okay. I've got my rubber, which is being fed in perfectly fine. So now it's just a matter of bringing in aluminum heat sinks. So let's finish setting this up. And we'll get our lift here. And try to get okay, and we can see that we have oscillators loaded on the belt here. You can see that here. And I am not sure I can't visually register that the oscillators are actually on the input of the machine. However, this is the exact same process I used to get the other things into the other machines, and it worked. So once they were able to turn these on and actually select the radio control units, then we'll actually be able to know if that connection is working properly. For now, we'll just assume that it is, because that'll make me feel better. And of course, we know this one is. So now it comes down to just properly feeding in three. This doesn't make sense. Hold on a second. Did I ever put a splitter down for this? I never did. Okay. That's why things are strange here. Oh, and now we know that it did work. Okay. So that is rubber. I never ended up putting a well, shoot. Actually, I could have just left that there. Okay. I have the computers going on the far right input here. So let's just keep things balanced and replicated. All right. So we do the same thing right here. So now we'll put the rubber on the next input, which is the same thing we have going on right here. Shoot. Now I know where that's supposed to line up. Okay. Did that mess the belt up? No. Ah, thank you very much, Double. WT76. Raids are great. Thank you very much. This is the first time I'm being raided. Of course I appreciate it. Thank you for watching. All right, and we'll put the next one here. All right, we can get over these belts. Trusty Dusty. You know, I swear, I couldn't live without the jetpack. When I get into games and I'm playing with friends, I end up just, I'm running around doing this the whole time because I'm trying to hold down the spacebar to fly. And half the time I don't have blades either, so it makes for a painful experience, you know, a very regressive, painful experience to go play in other games where you don't have all the equipment that you're used to. Oh, thanks very much. I appreciate that. All right. Well, I guess I could give a tour of the factory. This is the upper level where I put I put all my manufacturers. And when I originally started playing, I had a lot of areas where I just set things up so they would meet the current needs of whatever milestone I was going after. But then once I hit the milestones and very quickly made this beautiful space elevator useless, I needed to be able to expand my factory to increase production in a more organized fashion. So what I have is the bottom of my factory is going to be storage. I haven't really needed it yet, but it's going to be. So then the level above that is all smelters. Oh, you're going to love the jetpack. It's just something you can't live without. So this is the... No, not the smelter level. This is the smelter level. No, this is... Yes, okay. So what I have here are ridiculous amounts of smelters. I'm sure somebody has a bigger factory than me, so it's not a competition for me in that sense. But I have rows and rows and rows of smelters here. So they're all doing my, for instance, this is a row of 30 copper smelters. Then I have 90 iron. Autosave. It's a good thing. So then I have 90 iron here. Then I go into foundries, which is, I don't know, 60 foundries, or probably around 60 foundries. That's 30. Then I go into smelters for more copper. Yeah, okay. So, anyways, smelters. So under my factory, I actually built in a lot of materials, but I have so many things I bring in that design sort of went out the window. So I've got a lot of belts flying around. And so now we go up to, that's the assembler level. This is the constructor level. So this is where I make all the wire, plates, pipes, any rods I might want, quick wire, cable. I set up production for future aluminum plates, I think they're called. So this line of constructors and then this 10 over there are only for aluminum plates. And that is going to be sent up to the next level. So the way I have the flow is I bring in materials on the smelter level, and the product goes out the other side. So and then it goes, for the camera's reversed here. Okay, so I bring in the materials, and then the product goes out that side, goes up to the next level, and it creates a kind of S all the way to the top, so that the flow just keeps going in whatever direction. And once I get to the top, things get a little squirrely because I have materials coming from everywhere, so that kind of idea gets blown out the window as well. So constructor levels, where constructors do constructive things. Then we have the assembler level here, where I make an insane amount of whatever. So there's 36 assemblers making reinforced iron plates, which is fed into 22 assemblers making modular frames, and then I have prepared 22 assemblers for heat sinks when aluminum plates are available. So they're already loaded up and ready to receive the aluminum plates and then spit out their little product, which is going to go then up to the next level. And what you caught me in the middle of doing was setting up manufacturers for radio control units, which you can't make yet in the game, but I'm prepping. And they're going to feed into turbo motors machines, which you can't make either. So I still need to make motor production for that. And then I just have other little random stuff here and there to try to have some kind of production. And yeah, so I mean, that's really kind of the gist of it. I've had many different spots around the map where I have... Oh, yeah, I haven't showed you my oil production. So here I have kind of a... In an effort to support making crystal oscillator, I'm doing crystal oscillator computers. So in order to do that, I need crystal oscillators. So I make those up above in the manufacture area, and that comes down to these assemblers, which make the computers, but they also need circuit boards. And in order to make crystal oscillators, you need AI limiters, which also need circuit boards. So this line makes the computers. This row is the AI limiters, and both are fed by circuit boards here. So that's not really a very large production, but it does meet my needs for the basic stuff, since I don't need mass production of a lot of different stuff. Thank you very much. So this building here houses my oil production. So on the map, they moved all of the oil here to the Spire Coast thing or whatever, which is all along this area. So I have pumps on all of that, and it comes around this wall and into this oil production area, which is right here. And it's 2 floors. The first floor has 45 oil refineries, and the second floor has 30. And these are very specific numbers because they are they're reflective of the amount of resources I'm bringing in on Mark IV belts. So all of my production is based on deciding, figuring out how much of a resource I'm actually bringing in, and I tried to group that by full Mark IV belts. And then all of the math goes up from there. So I know, okay, I can feed, for instance, what is it, copper smelters. One Mark IV belt will feed 15 smelters if it's 30 a minute. I think it's 45 a minute. So in that case, it would feed 10 smelters. And then it outputs X amount of ingots, etc. Then from there, I know, okay, I have X amount of ingots. I can go ahead and produce X amount of wire from that. So everything is built up that way. So I don't really have overflow or underproduction or whatever. If anything, sometimes I overproduce. So here is the oil refineries, which I staggered to give myself a little bit more room usage, because these things are so gigantic. If I put them all fully next to each other, it takes up too much space. So I decided to kind of counter it with depth. So I'll put one machine down and another one I'll line up so that the belt comes out. And I actually place a belt, and then I can put the next one. And then you have alignment lines. You just keep plopping them down. Oh, that was the top row. Yeah. So that was only 30. So here's 45. And there's... Let's see if I can't fall down here and die. Looks like I'm gonna... So, oh, I almost did. Look at that. All right, so let's put on some blades. Yeah, I think so. I've gone through the entire map and I've wired up all 17 geothermal spots, so that's 3 point something gigawatts. So I'm not even using... Yeah, so most of my production is kind of halted right now because I don't use anything. A lot of stuff I don't really use. So that's my max power right now and my used power. Not even... and it's nowhere near... that's probably half of what a lot of people make. Anyways, so I have the oil coming in from the distance here. Let's see if I can get any boost to speed here. No, that didn't work out. Oh, I got the blades on. So there they go, way off in the distance. I can turn off the fog. Oh, thanks for following. Antoine Jamal, thank you very much. Let's see, if we open up the console and we turn off fog. There we go. So now we can take a look at where this stuff goes all in the distance. And it just keeps going and going and going. It's a belt. You've seen one. You've seen them all. So then you have all of these have been combined. All the pumps have been combined to basically match or fill a Mark IV belt. So 4 of these are full Mark IV belts, and then I just have one that's 300 resources per minute. So it doesn't meet the maximum, but it's fine. So And I set that off way in the distance here because the water is useless. So, in fact, it's rather detrimental if you fall in, since you have to bother swimming out. So what I did is I just placed all these foundations down and I decided to use the oil. Thanks for following, Double. Appreciate that. So this is all going to be, any oil production I need or want or whatever is going to all be in this area here. So that's just designated. And autosave goes off way too many times for my taste. So I am basically right here. And I started, in this particular game, I started a long time ago with somebody else. And then we started here, which is like the desert whatever spot. I think it's here, somewhere in there. And then once we found coal, we moved over here. And I've been here ever since. There is some oil in the distance here that I actually, right over here. This truck is running back and forth, bringing rubber. So I was kind of testing out manufacturing items that are manufactured at the resource location and then brought back to my main factory. And I've belted practically everything, and I don't see any reason for trucks or vehicles to do those stations. But I did set one up just because I thought it would be, I had to at least have one just to use the mechanic in the game. And this went a lot wider than I thought it was going to go, but manufacturers are so stupidly big, I couldn't help it. So I set up 18 manufacturer for crystals oscillators, and I use 16 of them because I can't quite feed 18. So I just turned them off, and I just have the 16 creating them. All right, so I'm gonna go finish setting up the. So, what do all of you do for your factories? Do you have any particular methods that you use, or if, for instance, do you manufacture things at the location of the resource and then bring that product back to your factory, or do you belt everything back to your factory? Do you use foundations, or do you like placing everything on the ground? Guess it's kind of a giveaway what I like. Foundations. Okay, I need to reset up this oscillator thing. So in order to do that, yes, I don't have to replace that, but I do need to have a belt here. Okay, Double. So you're gonna start all over again. Quartz Rex. Yeah, you like sky bridges, do you? Me too. For right now, though, so with those sky bridges, do you just bring the you just put the stackable poles on those and bring the belts across, or is that for driving purposes? Yeah. Yeah, there's nothing like a 90-degree belt, is there? 90-degree turn. Perfect turn. You can only get those with the foundations when everything snaps into place. All right, so we're going to be bringing the input this way. Can't see this. All right, I'll just jump up here again so I can get an idea of the alignment here. You know, I'm going to add a stackable on top here, and then we'll get our splitter out. Center that up on this belt. Autosave. Okay, that's a lot of hours. Okay, so you should have every single resource exploited in the game, right? I've got them all. I don't know how many that is, actually. But they're all unlocked. I have a lot of leftover hard drives, even. But... okay... "48 lines? All right, Double, see you later. Thanks very much for stopping by. I'll try to keep it real here. That's so many Mark IV. 48 Mark IV belts? Give me 1 second here. Starting to warm up in my apartment. All right. So that's hooked up. There we go. And that's already set up. So now we should just be able to put this doodad in this way. And we are good to go. Always cement. That is the biggest nemesis in this game. It does take a long time to run 48 belts. I'm assuming they go really, really, really far. 2, 3. So now we need to bring in the aluminum heat sinks, which of course we can't make yet. So let's drop this down here. And it's going to be coming, quite frankly, it's going to come from this side because that's where my outputs are. Yeah. Then we're going to take this belt connected up. Should go over top of this conveyor lift, and it does. All right, so we can put the splitter here already. Man, it's always so tough to see this. I can't actually see this because it's so far. Gosh darn it. I'm gonna guess it's there. Let's see if this works. Ooh. It worked. All right. And the input should be okay, but you see, we do have a problem here, actually, because this tiny little piece of belt sticking out, I'm never going to be able to connect to. Alright, I ate my words on that one. We can connect to that. Let's see. All right, let's run a belt over here and make sure everything connects properly. Okay, so we're encroaching. But maybe... Hello, Krona. How are you today? Thank you very much for watching the stream. We might be able to get away with this. Encroaching on others' clearance. Yeah, this isn't going to work. Can I... nope. All right. Gosh darn it. Can I snap a splitter to you? No. All right. Okay. So the easiest way to do this is just extend this belt out a little bit further than I had it already. And if we were going to have another manufacturer, which we will eventually, that's going to be somewhere in there-ish. And this belt can go over here. So now all I have to do is try to get this converter, or the splitter, to line up. But the... Man, let's see if we can do this here. See if we can get this again. We can. Nice. Now I just have to make sure the mouse is in the right position to connect that up. All right. So problem solved there. There we go. And our orange arrow is going correctly. I am doing excellent. Thank you very much for asking. And thank you very much for the compliments on the factory. I owe a lot to some of my regular viewers who've been very helpful and suggestive. So in a sense, it's kind of been built with all of us in mind. But it's come out really well. And I mean, I know everything we can make in the game already. So what I've been trying to do is build out a little bit of the machine setup that I know it's going to be released, at least according to their roadmap. Everything except the nuclear stuff. I have no idea what I'm going to do with that. So I'm going to do motor production on the level below where I'm standing now. And that's going to feed into turbo motor manufacturers, which are going to be in front of these two manufacturers here. These two manufacturers here are going to make radio control units. Well, I'm going to need those for instance, Mark III miners. What else do I need that for? If we... There we go. Thanks for that. No, it did. Yeah, so I've been talking to myself. Let me back up a little bit here. So the radio control units, since nobody could hear me, there's 12 seconds. That's what this production time, crafting time is. 12 seconds to make one radio control unit. So 60 seconds in a minute, divide that by 12, you get 5. So you can make 5 radio control units a minute. So I have two manufacturers here that are going to make radio control units. So I can do 10 a minute. So if we look then at turbo motors, you need 2 radio control units every 32 seconds. So in 64 seconds, you make 2 2 turbo motors, and you need 2 radio control units. Well, that's not simple math. Well, in a sense, it's not easy, quick math. So what it requires you to do is figure out how many radio control units a minute you need. Well, you know, if you just look at it, you know it's less than 4. What it actually calculates out to is 3.77 a minute. And I produce 10 a minute. So I'm overproducing right now for radio control units. Because I need radio control units to make Mark III miners and some other things. What are they also used in? Foundry Mark II, Smelter Mark II. And, wow, it used to be No, that's right. Mark III miners use the turbo motor, so you still need radio control units for that. So what I've done is I have the 2 machines. They come out into mergers, and then they go into a splitter. Now, I don't need all 10 of the output. So what I've done is, I guess you'd call it a 2/3 splitter merger thing. So this bottom one is a splitter, and the sides of the splitter go up to a merger, 2 sides, and the third one comes out and gets belted over and down into a tiny little set of containers I have down here. And I belt off the supercomputers and send them down there as well that I have. So that way, I still have kind of a storage for myself, but I don't need as many. So I'm taking 1/3 and putting the other 2/3 into the split for turbo motors. So I need 3.77. So 2/3 of 10 is math. I don't know, 6-ish, 6.5-ish, somewhere in. I don't know, 6 3/4, 6 1/3. Anyways, the point is, it's more than I need still. So it's going to be easy enough to just break that off. And I believe, yes, what I have also done is this same kind of split setup here. So with the crystal oscillators, I still make way more than I need. So I have Pyronite78. Thank you very much for following. I appreciate that. Welcome to the stream. I do a 2/3 split here for the crystal oscillators. So I send some of them down. Right now, most of them down. And then I do a 2/3 split for another belt coming off. So I had some other plans for some other magical manufacturing. I don't know. I just haven't done that yet. And where this sits now, this belt is actually going to dead end. It won't go anywhere. So that's going to have to be completely reworked. And what I've done here is kind of create a tunnel, a vertical tunnel. So I have all of my vertical lifts here coming up through here. So I can match everything up and figure out where they need to go in and out, etc. And then before the advent of the conveyor lift, I did this little trick where you use the walls to crisscross and go up different levels. So the iron ingots, 3 of which I don't even use, but I produce. These all, yeah, this is going in. So these 6 belts of iron ingots go in to this trap of swirly belts, and they come out of the top, and they get used in the constructors. So they get swirled around and then they pop out there. But now I don't have to do all that craziness. Thank whichever your god of choice is, because that saves a lot of pain and suffering. Because I used to do it... Let's see. I used to do giant spiral belt towers. And eventually we'll get over to this. And I don't think I use any of this anymore. Or if I do, it's only a couple. But basically, I had this 6 belt tower. There's 5 on there right now. And I brought those from resources way in the distance. Hey Nitro, welcome back. Good to see you again. But now I don't have to do that craziness. And earlier on I had some other giant spiral tower that worked as well. I mean, it served its function for what it was, but now it's not needed. Okay, so we know we can bring over heat sinks now. And we lag ourselves silly. Yeah. Have you seen that thing? You haven't seen that? I can actually jump on it if I can just time it in the right spot. It's pretty easy to ride. Where to go? It's somewhere now. Okay, I don't know how far I can go here, so let's go ahead and stretch this out. Let's see. The flying fish thing? 1, 2, 3. Ah. Oh, that's right. The big giant blobby things with the hanging legs, right? That can also... you need them for more... You need them to be able to make the... I can't remember their names. All right. Okay, so what I'm going to do is carry this belt over to here, and I'm keeping it the same height all the way until I get past these general manufacturers, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to be adding more manufacturers and machines in the front. So I want to keep a continuous kind of height here for myself so that I can understand, or make sure that I know what I'm dealing with multiple belts, because I can also bring in for instance, I'm using the 3rd level up, so I still have room for 2 other belts to bring in some other resource for other manufacturers or whatever. It just helps with keeping a little bit. Nothing is future-proof in this game. Hell, sometimes I take away things that I literally just put down. And now I'm running into these walls, and I'm having a problem trying to create more visually realistic, non-floating areas. I just killed a power line there. Oh, I don't even need that. So I set up some test machines to make sure that I could make something. Okay, aluminum, or rather heat sinks. There we go. So this is the assembler level. All right. So heat sinks are going to come out of here. And they're going to go right there. That was easy. I'm going to take that up. Actually, I don't really like... Okay. Now I need to marry this with something up top. So it is not at all where we were just running belts. Where's it? This one here. Okay. Oops. Okay. I cannot go too high here. Yeah, I can deconstruct a power line. You did? Oh, you didn't know that? Yes, if you just point at it when you hit the F key, you can do that. Yeah, I was doing that too until finally I was just like, what the heck? And then eventually someone told me, yeah, you can just point at it. That was during like the alpha weekend, I think, when I was playing. Where was this? This row here. Okay. And it comes out of this one. So we're gonna do, let's do a lift. You know what? I don't know. I need some. Okay, I know I'm in the right alignment here because I can hear a beep or whatever, your blip. So what I'll do is I'll make it that height. And now I know I'm at the right height. I can just belt out of there. Do you like that that game, Dauntless? I haven't played Monster Hunter, so I'm thinking about, I want to try this Dauntless out. Where are my aluminum belts gonna go? So we'll put a stack here. All right, I am the same height. Nice, okay. I'm just trying to make everything look kind of similar here. That's gonna come down this way. Just put that there as a marker. Okay, so now I know. So you're saying it's better because it's like Monster Hunter times Monster Hunter, but better? Without all the Monster Hunter monster stuff? But it does. I hate autosave. All right. It really breaks the flow of the game. All right. Is this... No. Nice. Okay. And This should match, and it does. So we are ready for heat sinks. Very good. Heat sinks are done. Rubber, crystal oscillators, computers. The radio control units are all hooked up and ready to go. Now we just need turbo motors. I watched one of the developer videos for Coffee Stain. Okay. Yeah, fair enough, Nitro. One of the developer profiles, highlights, whatever you want to call it, is Sophie Sprenger. She's the concept artist, or one of the concept artists, I guess. And so one of the parts, I don't know if you watched it or not, it's pretty funny. One of the parts, she's going over the previous character concept, and she talks about the helmet, how it looked like kind of a motorcycle helmet. So she just does this little thing of, you know, I'm gonna go riding on my motorbike tonight or something. And so every time I think that I like turbo motors, I just hear that. I hear her voice saying that funny thing. Not that anybody cares, but I shared it with you anyway. So we're gonna have heat sinks. So we actually need to. Sorry that somebody has an emergency. So I need heat sinks for both radio control units and my turbo motors. So what I need to do is I'm going to split this top belt here. I'm going to split it, and I'm going to bring it forward. Thank you for following there, Mikey DK. Appreciate that. Welcome to the stream. I'm going to plug this hole here. We don't like any leaks. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to split the belt there-ish, and I'll bring it forward here. And the output here, which this is not as tight or compact as I would prefer, and it bugs the crap out of me, but I can't seem to get any other, a nicer split. Or maybe I can. So for now, I also need rubber, so I'm going to need to split that rubber belt that I have coming out in that's feeding these other machines. So what I'm going to do for that is going to get split right here. And then I will run that forward as well. So that's going to be, going to have, I think, I'm not sure if I'm going to have two turbo motor manufacturers or not, because I need there's something like in the next milestone. I mean, let's look at that. Let's take. Can you still hear me? Yes. Okay. So we're going to take a look at this. Excuse me. So we're going to look at the space elevator. Come on. If you look at these milestones, there it is. Now, we're not making quantum computers. I'm not sure if they're actually still in the game. But tier 7 and 8, right here, 1,000 computers, 1,000 motors, 1,000 heavy modular frames. That's a lot. Then you look, you need 5,000. Then you need turbo motors, 2,500. So I'm just going to open up a calculator, and I'm going to punch in 2,500. And you don't make 2 a minute on one machine, but you do make 1 point, well, shoot. Let's see. Times 1.06. No, that's right. So 64 divided by 1.06 is 3.77. Yeah, Mikey, could you explain that a little bit? I can't remember what that was all about. They're going to be letting you switch that stuff in, or how does it work? Because those 6 inputs they have now are rather useless. Trying to figure out this math. Okay. Yeah, touche. Me too. Okay, so 0.9375 times 2. 1.875 turbo motors per minute. Now we have that. I'm going to write that down. Good old-fashioned pencil and paper. So here we go. We need 2,500 turbo motors. Okay. All right. So divided by 1.875 a minute. All right. This should give us 1. No, my calculator went nuts here. 2,500 divided by 1.875. That's 1,333 minutes. Divide that by how many years of my life I have left, and then we'll see how long that's going to take. So, 60 minutes and an hour, 22 hours of non-stop production for 2 machines. No, I'm sorry, 1 machine, 1 turbo motor machine that never stops. It doesn't fall asleep. It doesn't take breaks, no smoke breaks, no coffee breaks. That machine works 24 hours a day, or for the 22 hours you need straight. So 22 hours that takes. And that's assuming you don't use any turbo motors for anything else. That's literally all of the turbo motors that produces in 22.2222 repeating hours. Yeah. I'm not sure how. Yeah, Mikey. Yeah, yeah. Just put up more machines. That's what you know. Well, I'm gonna put up 2, for sure. And I think I can feed them. That's the problem. PJ Brooks 927. Thank you very much for following. Welcome to the stream. The problem is I'm not sure if I can feed more than 2 machines. And the real Achilles heel here is aluminum production for me. I don't even have it going yet. So, but bauxite is one of the critical elements for that production. And that is kind of light in the game right now. There's 7 total nodes, 1 pure and 6 that are normal. So they're stretched across. No, it is not available yet. But yeah, so it's coming. So and if we just base it on and what the wiki has right now, you need 7 bauxite. This is just to make let's see, 2 ingots every 4 seconds. This is the base recipe, not the alternative, which is available in the game right now. But you can't actually... I haven't tried to use it. Can I make aluminum right now with the alternative recipe? Wow. I didn't even think about that. But I mean, the alternative recipe is in, and I don't think it's really. But the aluminum is not in yet. So I'm actually, yeah, no matter what, actually, even if I could produce the alternate recipe for aluminum ingots, I can't make aluminum sheets. I can't make heat sinks. So if we look at this assembler here, alternate, no, you know what? I'm sorry. I'm totally sorry. It's alternate silica. That's what's in the game. I'm totally wrong with this. So what I set up were machines to produce silica. And this is before I had unlocked this recipe. So I have a bunch of constructors instead of assemblers set up. So this takes limestone and quartz, raw quartz to make. So no, there's no aluminum yet. But just looking at this, with a foundry, I set up the foundries for this. You need 7 bauxite and 6 silica. So I did math, and basically, it takes a lot of bauxite to get this going. So if we look at the map, really, I guess any map works. Doesn't matter. They're all the same right now. I'll use the other one. So I'll turn this off, and we'll look for a bauxite, and I'll turn off none, none, none. So I'm bringing in these 3 normal nodes right now into my factory. So they come all the way back to here. And then the only other ones are over here. Okay, work with me. Here. So this is where you have 2 normals here, 2 normals there, and 1 pure. So right now that's it. So you can easily hit a cap on aluminum production, simply because there are just not a lot of resource in the game. Yes, and maybe this is going to be another surprise for you. Each biome is all on the same map. There's only one map. Thanks for following there, Krona. Leet. Don't think I missed that 1337. It's all one map. You know, Nitro, that could easily be the case, and they will be adding in those kinds of, I guess, tools to facilitate bringing in resources from long locations. Well, Krona, funny story. I actually thought there were 3 different maps for the longest time until I saw this map website, and I thought, oh, okay, you know, this is this map, but where are the other maps for the other biomes? And then after I ran around the map for a while in the game, I realized. And I started the game in different biomes, and I thought, holy crap, I'm a moron. I'm such an idiot, because it's all one map. So, yeah, basically it's... so you can't see it on this map, so I'll pull up the other map, but this map actually shows you the... turn all this garbage off. This map shows you the starting locations. So you have 3 here, the 3 biomes. Yep, you were correct. So I originally played down here in the big grassy fields or whatever. So I have another game save, which I don't know, has 100 hours, something, whatever. And that was my first kind of major factory. Yeah, Mikey, that's right. Because this is where it's at, right? The big stuff, and then it's like there's not all the resources there. Yeah, Krona, it's a sad realization when all of a sudden you realize that it's not what you thought it was. So then here's the other two starting biomes, or starting locations. So I started here for this current game, and now I moved it to here. Uh, this is the Central E-esque part of the map. So there's another viewer, Spooks Yo. He has set up a gigantic 100 by 100 platform. That's 10,000 foundations and 60,000 concrete later, just for that platform, right here in the center. So then he also has, in the 4 cardinal directions, he actually runs bridges higher than any of the stuff in the game here. This is all above the height. So then he runs them in 4 cardinal directions here: north, south, east, west. And then he's bringing resources up. He's got, where was that place? I think it's here. There's 3 coal nodes and some sulfur, and he is running 90 coal generators using compacted coal, which is apparently the most efficient fuel in the game. It's around 98% efficient compared to all the other sources. Or is there 100 coal generators? I'm not sure. So he's running power production here. He's got his other original factory here. So anyways, what he's doing is trying to set up a manufacturing system for 44 supercomputers a minute. That's what all this is for. He needs all of the oil, all this. He needs, like, just to do that, he needs a lot of resources in the game, and he needed a minimum of 11 or 12 gigawatts of power, which he's reached that now. So I've been helping him build that, and I might jump into that tonight as well. I'm not sure. Well, Mikey, you're doing more than I am. I think I don't even know how many I'm producing a minute. I've got 2 machines going. What is that? 3.6 or something? Or is that the same? So whereas I'm sort of expanding my scale to constantly accommodate being able to produce all things, he's just going for the one thing. Now, what he saw, there's different calculators out there. That makes sense, Mikey. Yeah, I don't want to build all those supercomputers. But look at this. Why don't I? Oh wait, these are working, aren't they? No, why? What happened here? I should be producing enough of these. These 2 manufacturers are making my high-speed connectors. Oh, look. They're full. Now I have a break in the line somewhere. This comes out here. Where the hell? What the heck? Oh. I never hooked it up. Well, let's solve that problem right now. Watch him gonna flood out. Woo, look at him go. Get back to work. Your break is over. Okay. Okay, so now I'm producing, what is that, 3.75 a minute? And this one has been working. Yes. Okay. So, oh, I lost my orientation with lag. Okay. Yeah, I guess there is. So, what you didn't just see there, my supercomputers were not being produced, and I had forgotten to connect up my manufacturer here, so it was just hanging out, holding on to 100 high-speed connectors. For good measure, I guess. So I'm not sure about the supercomputer needs If I go back to the space elevator, yeah, the space elevator doesn't need supercomputers right now. I actually have a lot of tabs closed right now. I admit, I'm a tab offender. So, supercomputers are next to useless. So what I'm doing is I am double stacking this. So I have 4 industrial containers. That's Mark II, old Mark IIs, and then 4 Mark I containers. And I am just, they S their way through and they come out here. And I'm just going to stock up supercomputers because I guess for whatever. And here, this is just the control units, radio control units that I don't need to worry about. Turbo motors, on the other hand, that's actually kind of a big deal. But honestly, only in the regarding Mark III miners and the elevator. After that, who cares? That's the one. That's actually one of the problems I have with a lot of the end game products or end line products is that after you make them and you kind of use them here and there, they're useless. They just stack up. And it's an early access game. That's fine. They're gonna find a use for something. Maybe you burn it for fuel. Who knows? You can put it in your jetpack. Supercomputers. So, all right. I'm not really keen on having that. I'm going to get some more concrete. We're going to lay down a bunch more rows of foundation so that we can bring this manufacturer set forward. And I need to split that up. So let's go get a bunch of concrete. All right, so I have my concrete production up here along with my steel encased beams. How many do I have of those? I got plenty. Why do I have all of these heavy modular frames? I'm full. Everything's full. I think I'd like another container. What is that now? They are 50 each. Each one of these containers is 48. So that's the same thing as having half of it, really, to make 100 each stack. So just making that easier. So 2 containers is essentially the same as 1 container worth of so that's 4,800. I will need 1,000 heavy modular frames for the next tier, and then 5,000 for the next tier after that. So I need to make more, but it's pretty easy to make this stuff. So I am not very upset about that. We got our concrete. So now we're going to split this future aluminum, or just heat sink they call it. We're going to split that off just so it's done. And I need to split the rubber off as well. And I have not set up motor production at all yet. I have dinner plans here in a couple of hours. Let's see how much we can get going here. Encroaching on clearance. Am I encroaching with the manufacturer? Well, you don't have any problem. What the heck? All right. So that's sort of prepped-ishness, whatever it is. So we will be able to... Yeah, we got that feeding twice. Let's set up the rubber split. Get over these machines. Okay. All right, so... I'm going to put the splitter right on top of there, so I need to put this belt down. And we'll run this, I think... I'm not going to be able to do that. But I might be able to do this, though. Yes. All right. Let's put the splitter on here. Okay. So now we will run this out and down somewhere. Let's see. All right. This is 1, 2, and that is 1, 2. Okay, now, there you go. You can do it. Come on. So many things for it to snap to. It's really quite funny. You had it there a second ago. What's the problem? Cooperate. Let's get on top and see if this will work. I just saw you had it. Oh, got it. All right, so we'll jump over this. See. And then we're gonna have to come this way and meet up with the other posse. Let's see, I'll put it right here so this looks more aesthetically pleasing. Alrighty. Fantastico. Oh, that, you know what? That could just go right in there. I'm gonna do that. Take this away. Nice, 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 nice. So we have one output here, which is going to be the units, yeah, the remote radio control units. Then we're going to have rubber here, and then we have heat sinks coming around the corner here. And we also need motors, motorbikes, and I don't know if I could play that video on the stream. I guess so. It's just on YouTube, right? So what I'm going to do is bring the motors from the level below. So I have to set up that motor production. I want to put that on a pretty good amount because I would like to be able to scale this up if I can. So that's going to come out somewhere. I'm not sure where yet. But what that's going to do is it's going to meet up and come over this way. And in fact, you know, I'm going to go ahead and stack this up now. I'm not sure exactly where that's going to come out. there anything else that needs motors? Does anybody know that? Motors are used in electric locomotives, explorers, fuel generators, the Hadron Collider, which is not in the game yet, manufacturers, oil pumps. These are a bunch of machines, splitters, truck, turbo motor, and some things in Russian. Why am I looking at something in Russian? The words are in Russian. They're not... Okay, I got... All right, let me show you this. I'm not in a Russian version of this Gamepedia site, but as you scroll on down, all of a sudden, this is in Russian. Well, okay, actually, I don't know that that's Russian. I'm sorry, that's Cyrillic. So, I mean, I know it's the truck, but why? So something in the site is a bit scrambly. So, anyways. Motors are used in the trucks. Sorry about that. Let's see. This is the truck again. It is the same word. You can tell that. Okay. Let's see what this nep boop a boop boop thing is. Okay, that's the Explorer. All right. So the motor is not used in any production item except for turbo motors, which are then themselves used for only a milestone and Mark III miners, or Mark III, whatever it was, foundries or something, I don't know. So, yeah, Mark III miners. So, anyways, the point is, I can have motor production on a pretty good scale and then just feed that right into my turbo motors, and I can peel off a 2/3 splitter somewhere maybe, and then I can store them for myself. Do you know what it said? Ah, shoot. Give me 1 second here. All right, so all right. Okay. So I might... Well, 20 by 20 is the icon size, so that's not the foundation coverage. Oh my God! Because think about that for a second. The elevator, this giant thing, is 9 by 9 effectively. So 20 by 20. Wow, that'd be massive. Okay, it is officially Russian, and it says Truck Explorer. Exactly what we click on them and find out. I just had my Russian friend translate that. I threw it into the ether of people I know that are from multiple countries, and the Russian came back and said, that's what that is. So I just got lucky. That definitely was pure luck. So I keep staring at here and in my mind wishing would happen is that I use this spot right here. But I don't think that's going to be possible. So I need to evaluate this a little bit. So I need to find a hole. I think I've got a hole here. So it looks like I can use this sort of stack on the right here. That seems to not be blocked. So if I come out of here, then I can go this way. So let's just do this now. Let's see how the belt would go. So there we have it. There is our answer. Our answer has been answered. And question has been answered there. And that way we're going to bring this down. It's going to be the top one. And eventually we are allowed to play the game again. So let me look at the front here where this is all fairly open. I don't know where motor production is going to go right now, but quite frankly, yes, I have. I've even seen the short little videos of it. Oh yeah, dark matter as well. I've seen the videos of it. It looks really fantastic. It's really nice animations and it's a great models. The textures and colors are fantastic. So it looks like I have to contend with these 3 belts here, which I'm kind of interested in putting into a conveyor wall, I must say. But in any case, I still have this upper one I can use. So I'm going to use that. That will clear. So 1, 2, 3. We'll snap that up. And we will run this. That one blipped. Blip. Blip. Because I raised it from the bottom first, going up, that's going to be my the direction of that. And I'm going to remove this, excuse me, and I'm going to reconnect this. And you can see the green arrow flowing in that direction here. So that shows that my input or output's coming up from the bottom and going along that belt. So that is now connected. And now I can join these belts up here. So I know I've got these lag-filled belts. They're going to come this way. So I'm going to have my rubber and my motors coming that way. I have my radio control units coming this way. And then I have my heat sinks coming here. And I have to place that in front here. So we already got concrete. So let's start laying down more foundations of doom. And that should be enough. Let's go ahead and fill this in a little bit. This hole here. And I don't know what I need this for over here, but it looks prettier. More pretty. What's really funny is every time I go, I'm out of concrete. Every time I go to show the factory again, progressively as I keep building, it's harder and harder to traverse the levels of the factory, and I can put in jump pads and ramps and all that other stuff I know, but as I'm not done building it yet. So every time I do that, to make it easier for me to traverse the verticality of the actual factory, I end up having to take it away because I'm spreading out my machines, so they're always in the way. So I don't know when I'm going to be done, probably never. And so when I go to show the factory, it's like, yeah, here's the factory. And then I look down here, yeah, that's still the factory, but there's still 3 or 4 floors below that, 4, and a level under that on top of the water that I run belts on underneath the whole factory. So it's hard to actually see it unless I jump around forever. And the farther out I build here, the harder it's going to be to see all that stuff. I think I just need a hole I can fall down to get to the bottom. Okay, so this one's going to be bringing up heat sinks, right? Yeah, it's pretty funny, I think. But wait, this is heavy modular frames. This is just in the way. I have plans to completely fill in the walls and everything to build it all together and make it one nice building, not just floating platforms, which is what I've been trying to do sort of here to make it look better, but I haven't been successful because I'm still building things and they are on the seam lines for the foundations where the walls go. And this is my radar tower, and as you can see, it's named Asshole because I hate this thing. It killed me more than 4 times trying to put it up there. So it deserves the name. And I have another asshole, or I'm sorry, that's not true. That's a lie. There's another radar tower, but this one's called Shitter because that also sucks because it's on top of the hill and I hate it too. That sounds like a really... Oh, Victor, it's lagging? Let me see what's going on here. All right, is it still lagging there, Victor? Thanks for watching, by the way. That's a good idea, Nitro. I hope you can pull that off, because every time I try to do that, the more I add in, it just sort of gets out of the way. Or in the way of what I'm trying to do. I see it is. Is it lagging? Okay. Well, that sucks. I am streaming to Restream, and then that's sending it out to Twitch, YouTube, and Mixer. Oh, thank you for following, Victor. Thank you very much. I hope that the lag goes away and improves the stream. Okay, so we're looking at the clock. All right, I've got an hour and a half-ish before I need to go. So we're going to put down 2 manufacturers for these turbo motors. Okay. I just keep expanding, so I think there's no boundary. It's limitless, except for the fact that the computer starts to choke out after a while. I'm not sure what my distance is going to need to be. No, I want 2. And let's jump up on top of here so we have a little bit better idea of how to see this. Rotate it. All right, I can see this line where the inputs are right now that go along the back of the inputs. So visually, I can't tell where I am with the output of the splitter here. That's about on that line, so that's going to be too close. So God, that's just so much space. I'm not sure where to put this now. This thing just bugs me like crazy. I think I'm going to take that away. Because if you look here, I have a nice belt line. And then I have, say, this grouping of foundations. That this line of foundations, the whole width of it, I could kind of use to manage belt inputs on the back of the machine. But when the computer's done saving, I can turn around. And this bad boy's right in the way. Oh, Pyro Knight, thanks very much for following. All right, that is off mixer. Cool. All right. We're going to take all this away. Okay. No problem. Do you watch it on your Xbox or Windows? Or phone, I guess. You could do that too, right? Okay. So, the output here is going this way. This way. So what I'm going to do is replace this and rotate it going this way. So we can try to stack those splitter merger thingies there a little bit tighter on top of each other. How am I going to do that? I'll tell you. I'm going to use foundation stairs. So these stairs here, or that one, it depends. They're going to let us actually stack on these splitters mergers on top of each other. So we're going to add our merger down, our base merger. Nope, that's not the one. And we'll rotate the output that way. And is this is what I wanted. And yeah, that'll work. And this may... Yes, it does. All right. So now what we're going to do is we're going to place these stairs down on top of this foundation right here. And we're going to use those to then stack up everything coming out of there. So this output here is going to go up to the splitter. Then I need to figure out where the rest of it's going to go. But I'm going to get some water here. Hold on one second. All right. So we're just going to try this out and see how I can get this thing to be more compact than what I had it before. All right. So I'm going to need the stairs to go this way, but because I need it to go up higher, I'm going to rotate it this way first, and then I will put it like this. And I will be going up one more level, so I'm going to add another set here. Again. Like that. Alright, the next thing is going to be a splitter, and then the one on top of that is going to be a merger. This used to be the original way that I would stack these before I started putting them on the belts. Alright, my input is this right here. Now see, this is a problem. This is a real problem. Yes, totally. These are definitely hacks. It's a problem because I can't put a conveyor lift against this manufacturer, so I don't have enough room here. So I actually need to bring this merger out further. So let's bring the merger out far enough so that, rotate that output there, far enough so that I can actually put a conveyor lift here. I think that is going to be right. All right, I'm not going to bother hooking up the belts yet because I want to make sure. Okay, so in this case, okay, I can't have the input in the back because the back of the merger is fed out of the machine. But it doesn't have to be. Could be fed from the side. And in fact, this merger doesn't even have to be where it is right now. Let's try this. If we put this merger here, let's rotate the, let's see, the output to be on the back side, and we'll put the merger there. We'll move these stairs. Be like I had it before. Okay. All right. So now both belts are gonna, from the machines, are gonna go into the merger, and the output is gonna be on the back side. So that leaves the input of the splitter on the back side, and then the splitter is still gonna be front-facing, a triple split. Let's try that out and see. I'm gonna put a splitter, and I hope this provides a little bit better compact feel. Where's that? Yes, on the back. Okay, so is that right? Yes, I think. Let me check to make sure that has lined up where I want it. Fantastic. Let's grab a merger now, and let's put that one on top. Okay, so the merger output's going to go forward like that. So we know this because the green arrow is forward. And there. Okay, so now all we have to do is remove these stairs and add the conveyor. So the problem now I face is that these are not, the conveyor lifts do not snap exactly to the inputs and the outputs. Let me show you what I mean here. All right. You think maybe that would actually work there. But it doesn't. Now why? Yeah, all right. And there's the evidence. All right, so let me show you what that evidence is. All right, this is an output, the green arrow. This here, that is an input. So this one is an output. All right, that is an input. All right, so if I take this one You see, if you look at the bottom, you can see that the rubber accordion connection looks different than the top one. The bottom one is how this is how you visually know that you're supposed to be connected. The top is sort of a base accordion conveyor connection that is just there. So it's not actually connected. And I'm not sure we can connect it. So what I had to end up doing, in fact, yeah, it'll snap here and it tells us right there. It has an invalid shape. So it's not the right alignment. So what I had to do was actually move the conveyor lifts back a little. Now I can't do that right now in this configuration that I've set up. Sorry about that. Now I might be able to move it back here, but I probably won't be able to. I don't think this one snap's going to take it into... Oh, wow, it actually did it. Okay, let's rotate this then. All right, so this one we can connect. You can see now the bottom one is not connected, and it has that more compressed or compacted accordion look. There you can see the deviation there, the height deviation. All right, so that's connected. But how do I get these to do the same thing? My guess is I'm going to have to use these stairs again in this fashion. Because now I don't have the stairs are not exactly, this is not exactly in the center, but it might still be just fine. I need to have that. No, I don't want that. Yeah. I could do that. That would probably solve my problem. Look at that. The person with all the answers. All right, so if I assume that let's see if that will work. Nice. All right, now I need a merger. I'm gonna have a merger. What am I doing with my output here? This output is supposed to go, is this right? Yes. Okay, that worked. Yeah, it did work really well. Thanks very much for that. Good tip. All right. There we go. So, let's take, no, not that. Take this away. So this is going to run into this merger. This one's going to run into that same merger. And then what it does is it goes out the back, goes up to this splitter, which then does a 2/3 split up to this merger. And this is going to come out, basically, and go this way. And this merger is going to output this way. Yes, so that's going to be our output into the actual manufacturers. So we will put down that line. I have no idea if this made this compact, but it was a really cool thing to figure out. All right, so this can come down here. Actually, we will do... I want this to be... No, I want it to hopefully be tighter here. Oh, they're not the same height. This isn't going to work. Oh, wait. Maybe. Hey, FPS Madness. How are you doing? Welcome to the stream. Yeah, it needs to be one snap further away. This is still too close. Darn it. Oh. You can do it. Oh, Top DJ. Yeah, all right. Welcome back. You're incognito today, being sneaky with another ID. You just showed me you could do it. Why won't you do it now? Go up the ladder. There we go. Sometimes it just refuses to snap where you want when things are just too close. God, why did it do it just... It did it already. I don't understand. Sometimes it's trying to... There, oh, it did it again. There. There we go. Okay. Nice. So. Let's try the same thing up here. I'm going to do the same battle. You can do it? Yes. Okay. So now what we can do is a 90-degree bend. And we are at the correct pole heights. Okay. All right. Well, that explains it there, Top DJ, FPS, Madness, Twitch. I'll have to now reprogram my brain to know that it's you. So now I can come out of here straight and into some sort of other crazy insanity. And I was going into here. So now what I can do is try to come down to here. There we go. Okay, we're back in business. And we did not save space per se. However, this is the actual belt corridor we were talking about. And what we have now is stacks kind of in that area. You know what would be... I don't... Okay, but anyways, this does work. I wonder if I can sort of give this sort of the... I used to do a pseudo aesthetic look here. Just so it would have some sort of support so it wasn't hanging in the air. So I'm going to do that again. I used to do this. The way that I stack these splitters now, like I mentioned, is the way I used to do that before I could put it on the belts. So what I would do is put the regular conveyor. You place it down, first click, and then you just move your mouse up. You just point up into the sky, like that. That's it. And then you click again, and it's in. And you rotate with your scroll wheel, which you probably already know about that. So for aesthetics, this doesn't do anything except just look right. I'm going to add this in, move it in one. There. No, I didn't know how to do that either. You're not a failure. That is not a very clear thing sometimes. Maybe I can get this. Oh, I saw it. I saw it. Yes, if I could just get it to cooperate. Is it there now? No. You can do it. Yes. So now I can actually raise this up. Well, I mean, what you were doing was working for you. So, I mean, it's just another way around it. All right. So what I did there was add that conveyor pole. And what I would do is if I only had one splitter raised off the ground, I would use one pole in the center for a leg. And if I had two of them stacked on top of each other, I would put 4 legs. Well, Krona, are you on the Discord server, the Satisfactory Discord server? Because there are tons of people on there that do multiplayer all the time. Yeah, the last one will have no legs. Thanks for pointing that out. I appreciate you just sort of rubbing that in. So I have to figure out how I'm going to make it look more better. Yes, sir, there is, sir, ma'am. I'm not sure which you are. I'll just remain gender neutral. And let me open up Discord. We went through this last time. How did we get this one, Nitro? I don't remember how we pasted this in. Yes, there's a wiki, there's a map, there's actually calculators, full-on calculators for all of this is actually on the Discord server. There's a math and meta channel. Let me go to the, I will actually, let me show you the right monitor so you can see this. So here's the Satisfactory server, so you can see the channels here. And what I'll do is paste, I'll paste the link into the chat as soon as I remember how to get it out of here. There's something about inviting friends, I think. There you go. Thank you, Nitro. Did you get that, Krona? There it is. Invite people. Yeah, right on. Cool. And then this is the link here. Just copy. Okay. All right. Cool. Well, anyways, nay, no problem. Actually, let's take a look here. We'll do a little more of this here. I'll just minimize that. So I'll open up a new tab, and right here there are different calculators. Like I said, there's a math and meta channel on the Satisfactory server there. But you have ways to visualize product factories here. You can change, it shows the items and everything you need to know about them. This is one particular calculator. This one is another calculator here. Which lets you choose what products you want or whatever. So let's say I would choose, let's go for motors. Boom. Tells you everything instantly. Everything you need. And you put in how many you want a minute. So like I have mentioned earlier, if you were watching at that time, I like to fill up Mark IV belts because right now they're the fastest thing in the game. That's 450 resources per minute. So that's why I have 450 here. How many items a minute I want to produce. Well, motors, that's insane. So maybe I want to do 25 motors a minute. So this tells me everything that I would need for that. And if you care, it's got power consumption, but I haven't had to worry about power for months because, like, whatever. It tells you 700 or about 800 megawatts worth of power. This is going to consume all of the machines together. And then it breaks down each individual consumption of power and the resources you need, etc., etc., etc. How many machines you need to make this. CW Games, welcome to the stream. I'm glad you're watching. What do you mean you keep freezing, though? As in the game. Yes, I have the fog turned off right now. And then the wiki, there was. Did you link that last time, Nitro? The entire console command list. So I can do r.fog1, which is on. Wow, why didn't that go back on? That's interesting. Equals 1. Yeah, why isn't that going on? Interesting. Okay, you have to do the key combination, Control Shift L, and that will activate it. And then the tilde key, which is the, swervy key that's right next to the 1 key on any English keyboard. Or actually, every keyboard. It's just depending on what symbols you have. Like if I have, like my Swedish keyboard doesn't have that, so I have the English keyboard, Windows keyboard thing turned on, so it acts like an English keyboard. Yeah, but Nitro, I should be able to turn the fog back on. Huh. Okay. Maybe. No. Oh. So, YTCW Plays, did you get that? Were you able to activate that? Because you can turn off Bloom, you can turn off a bunch of stuff. Like right now, let's see, I did turn off Bloom, I think. Let's see, there's Bloom quality. Yeah, it's interesting. They're not going back on. Huh. Let's see. So, okay, cool. So then there is the stat, FPS. So in the upper right-hand corner, okay, you can't see that. My camera's in the way. All right, let me move this a bit here. And the chat a little bit. So you can see there's an FPS there, FPS rating. So right now mine is pathetic. 14 frames per second on a good day, 12. And the milliseconds is how long it's taking to render the scene with the GPU. Okay, so you can't fly, ghost, teleport, or do cheats because those are non-functional commands apparently. There's all sorts of showing debug information, graphical stuff, pausing the game. Interesting. Oh, okay, let's try that out. Pause. Ah, it worked. My frame rate went up when the game paused. That's pretty cool. I unpaused. Okay, so what I've done is I've spent this useless time trying to figure this stuff out right here. So what I'm going to do now is just use this line here. So I'm going to put the manufacturers here for turbo motors right in front on this line right here. So that is, it's that line that I'm pointing at. I'm trying to keep focused on. I back up onto this machine. All right, so let's go up onto here then. It's a little bit easier. Yeah, dead graphics. It's an epidemic. And I really don't know where... Okay, so that's in alignment with that machine right there. Is this really right? This is really where I want this to go. Definitely not. That is way too tight. So I'm just going to throw down something out of my inventory. So I know where that's supposed to be. All right. Let's try this again. This takes up a ton of space. It's ridiculous. Let's see. God, look at how far forward this crap is. Well, but these are kind of end product-y things, so any other manufacturers I have a lot of space for. So I can't really be butthurt about that. So we'll just leave it the way it is. Okay. These two machines, these two lovely machines, which, do I have power here for that? I have enough power, but I'm gonna go ahead. Let's put down, I just love Mark III poles, so we'll put one here and hook these two machines up. Cool. Power is set. Now I just have to feed these belts in. They're going to go in to all of these inputs together. Let's see what I need. 4. I'm using 4 inputs. What's the easiest thing to go across the bottom? I guess, quite frankly, it's going to be the heat sinks. We'll do that. So let's see where we're going to end up with these. Going to be right here, probably. And I'm going to set it one more back. Okay, we're going to have one belt on the bottom. That's the second belt. Here's the third. Here's the fourth. And if I'm lucky, I can go the full length here without having to worry about setting up extra. I can. Right. Probably don't need. I'm going to have to end up putting down these other stackable poles anyway, but it's okay. So I'm going to put the belts down and bring all that stuff in, and then I will put the splitters where they need to be. So this one, I don't want to go too far forward with this because I don't want to interrupt other things I have going in here. So let's just be a little bit. Well, Mikey, I tell you what, Sly is a pain in the ass any way you slice it in any version of NVIDIA's products. Even all the way back to when it wasn't an NVIDIA thing. What was it, Canopus? I think the 3DFX series would do the 3D card, literally. That had Sly. That's where NVIDIA got it from. And that was a real finicky beast as well. All right, so we're going to go with the far right. So we will put, this will stop here, I think. Yes. Okay, so now I just need a splitter down, but I'm not going to put a splitter yet because other belts are going all over. Okay, so we will have the different belts drop down here. So this one will go here. Hey, Spook Show. Been a while. I've been busy working and all that other stuff. I had a lot of stuff going on in the evening, so I wasn't playing this game for a couple days. And then I got an email 3 days ago or something like that, so I had to do a feedback on a thesis, and then I spent last night and the night before trying to read through the thesis and all of the reference papers and works. And then today we did the feedback session, so I'm done with all that crap. So that means more Satisfactory. Okay, so these two are coming across like they are supposed to, but I'm not going to actually have a belt. I'm going to split this somewhere in the middle-ish, I think, or try to. I'm not sure how it's going to go yet. All right, so I've got... Yeah, Mikey, the slice settings, when they were on point, that was just, it was a really a nice experience. Or is, still. Right now I'm trying to get my turbo motor manufacturers plugged in so they can get fed with all of the other stuff that I'm not making yet. But Nitro has given me, Nitro's given me a challenge that I think I am going to be able to meet and beat. And it might just be an in-your-face moment. Let's see here. I think it's going to be an in-your-face moment. If I can just get control of the game again. There we go. All right. Okay. Damn it. I know I can do this. In your face! Haha, I got legs on the back now. Yeah. One supercomputer a second. That would be nice. So, Spookshio, by the way, that's the guy I was talking about. He's the one that's trying to do 500 million supercomputers a minute. What is it? 44, 45, 40? Now I just need another one. In your face is no. Oh no. Okay, yeah, it is an official completed in your face. I just have to get this last one. Here we go. But I don't like how it looks here. I gotta rotate it. There we go. Now we're talking. Wait, is that one right? No. 30 supercomputers a minute. That's a lot. You mean 9,000? What do you mean there, Mikey? Ah, okay. So I'll have 4 legs, 4 fake pseudo legs, whatever you want to call them, on the bottom. And I'll have 2 on the top, plus the actual conveyor lifts supported. Now it's looking better. Ridiculous. Okay. So I am done with everything coming this way. So I don't actually need... Oh, I put that power pole right in the way. Darn it. I'll leave that one there. This has got to move. There we go. Is that right? Yes, that will work. Okay. All right. So now I've got this. I need to bring this down now quite a bit. I still have... Okay, yeah, this is my fourth and last item here. So I'm going to add this splitter here now. I have them going... I had that belt going to the far right, so I'm going to set it to the left here. If I can just get this to line up properly. Okay. So that's fed in. So now I just have the one input of my future radio control units. I've got a little less than I've got less than an hour left here before I need to run off for dinner. I'm gonna have to go. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go up here. All right, so we're gonna okay, this is where I need to be. So what I'm going to do is set some placeholder poles here because I'm going to get a splitter to face the right direction, so the correct direction, so that I can get the input to be where I want it to be. Again. And we'll run this belt that way, I think, right? Is that what I needed? Is that right? Yeah, okay. Okay, and now hopefully I can get some kind of splitter alignment. All right, so now we have our floating splitter. Get rid of this stuff. Get rid of this. All right, and this is going to go into here, and the conveyor is too steep. So let's take this out and see if I can get this to go in nicely. It does. All right. And we have this going this way. And all right, we are not putting everything in yet. So, oh, that's simple enough. I will put that belt that way. So now we can put our splitters on. So we don't need it on the bottom belt. Hey, iGlitch, welcome back. Good to see you again. And the final one, well, yeah, this is the final one. So I don't need this belt here. I don't want things to just continue on. So I'm going to remove that one. And I am not going to put stackables in there, I don't think. But anyways, we got these two belts. Let's pull this in. And run this down. And maybe I got away with it on this one. Distance with the belt, maybe. Nope. All right. Yes, you did mention that. How many coal generators is that? I was actually telling the stream about that. So you're producing 15 gigawatts of power. That's a lot. We're hooked up. That's and that is it. Wow. Okay, finally realizing this this dream I've had for many years now. Most of my life as a young child, I always wanted to be a factory builder. Thanks to Coffee Stain Studios, I am a pioneer. Okay, motor production. That's it. I'm playing that video. I think I love hearing her say this. Let me see if I can go to the videos. Where is she? There's Sophie. All right. Let's see. If I can turn this up, I'll get to the point where she says it. If I can turn the, can I turn the volume up? Let's see. Uh, 30 square kilometers, I think. 5 by 5, yeah. So that's not 30 square, but. So here we go. We're gonna listen to Sophie.
What's going on here? Because at this point we want to do it.
Can we hear this? I don't think we can hear it. Let me see. I gotta kill the audio in the game. Okay.
To be able to like choose your character color. Maybe that will happen. I don't know. If you look at this one and compare it to the new one, like the helmet is super different. Like this is so like, I'm going on my motorbike tonight.
I just love that. Oh man. Okay. I'm done indulging in my stupidity here. All right. Okay. I don't even know if you heard that, but I got a giggle out of it. All right. So we need motor production. I don't even know what I'm doing with that right now because I need stators and I need rotors, and that means I need all sorts of stuff. And I think I need copper production that I don't have right now, which means I need to bring in an extra belt. I've got to hunt down. Let's see, quick wire. Yeah, I have a. I just have motor production on the little backside here. Just so I could have motors being made. It's just being fed by containers here. And apparently I'm full of rotors here. But how many motors? I just have some motors, no biggie. So pipes feed both. And this one is quick wire, which is my stator. So that's a quick alternate recipe I use for that. And I use this one, which is a wire. So I'm going to need quick wire, which I do have belts available for that. And I'm going to need wire, and that's what I'm not sure I have. So, pipe production. Oh, fog is back on. Okay, I must have turned it back on. So, if we'll go past these, 108 containers, and you look down like you are right now on the screen, the frozen screen, there is a series of foundries here. There's 40, in fact. So I have steel production that I am not using right now. I set this up to take advantage of coal belts that I brought in. And I had a bunch of iron ore, pure iron ore belts that were just hanging out doing nothing. So I thought that their welfare days were over. It was time that I had to put them to work. So I did. So I have all these steel ingots ready to go. So where they need to be taken is all the way over here, and then they need to go up here to the next level. Now, I need to look at what this output is. I don't remember. So 45, so 10 of these is one full belt of Mark IV belt. And the input for pipes, I don't remember. Gosh darn it. So many items. So, 15 a minute. Wow. Okay. That's 30 constructors for one Mark IV belt to pump out pipe, which will in turn put out a full Mark IV belt because it puts in 15, out 15. So 30 times 15 is 450. Yes. So I have 4 belts times 30. So that's 120 constructors to make pipe. Now, right now, there's nothing else that, I mean, yes, there's steel beams, and I don't make any steel beams anywhere, and I haven't cared for a long time. But in all fairness, I should have some kind of steel beam production somewhere. 130, no, 120. 120 constructors. If I wanted to do pipe with that steel. This, though, is half as many input. But I don't even have any screws anywhere in my production. Do I? I don't think so. Yeah, Mikey. Oh, maybe Mikey. Maybe you don't know about the factory already. There's a lot more than 120 constructors already doing work for us right now. But yeah, 120 is a lot. That's a lot to hook up, and that's more time than I have right now for this evening. So that'll be for tomorrow, most likely. I don't know. Were you around, Mikey, when I did a little tour? Would DK happen to be for Denmark, by the way? Ah. All right, if I fall, I'm dead. Okay. This is the oil refinery building. So here's 30 refineries right here that are making stuff. And here's 45 right here. Spook Show, you're killing me with this production. Why? Why? But I mean, it's really cool to see if you can do it. You know what? When I come back from dinner, are you gonna play tonight, Spook Show? You're gonna keep going? Because I'm up for some multiplayer. Okay. All right, we'll see what time that is then. Since the sun stays up till 10 o'clock at night. All right, I've got a lot of space in the back here, and I actually have a ton of space in the back. And I think I would like to take advantage of this, quite frankly, back here. And then I can run the motors forward and take them up. I really like that idea because I have this clear line all the way across here. So, but I have to produce stators and rotors, and I have to produce the motors. I don't have enough room back here to do that. I could put platforms going or that way. And just keep bringing this out. Wouldn't be a problem. Okay, so all right, I gotta figure this out. I'm not gonna get this set up tonight, but I still gotta figure this out. All right, so we're going to use the alternate rotor recipe. So we 2 levels of what? Oh, 2 levels of assemblers. It's 4 walls high, so no. I could do it back here. But I don't need to do that. And this actually doesn't take up as much space as I thought it did. So I think I'll be able to fit it all back here. Okay, so I need 60 wire per minute. And 18 pipes per minute. That is just for the rotors. But the output is 9 per minute. Really? I have a lot of... Whoa, I have a lot of iron ingots that I'm not doing anything with. I got 3 full belts. I forgot about this. Okay, wire production solved. All right. Okay. Then what do I need with this? So if I want to fill up a Mark IV belt, thanks very much for that. If I want to fill up a Mark IV belt, I am going to need 6.66666666 machines. So if I underclocked this, well, the bottom line is I need 7 machines. There's got to be a way I can sort of clock this differently to get this to work. 67.5 times, let's say 90%. That's 60.75. So So 7.4 machines. So either way, 7 machines is kind of the... 7 machines is the ticket. Fine. So I'm going to have full Mark IV belts of iron ingots. Maybe I should just flood this. I'm going to have to do this on the level below. Well, 15 a minute, I know. That's 30 constructors to give me a full belt of Mark IV. What am I talking about? This is out of construct. This is an insane output. So for the input to process those iron ingots on a full Mark IV thing, that's going to be 30 constructors. All right. So 30 constructors outputting on one belt 67.5. That's 2,025 a minute. Is that right? Well, the smelters are already dedicated. The belts are already put out there. Uh, 67.5 a minute times 30, 2,225. If I divide that number by 450, I get 4.5 belts, Mark IV belts out of that production. So this is one iron ingot belt, Mark IV belt, produces 4.5 Mark IV belts of wire. That's enough wire. All right, so our wire production, that requires a lot more setup, so we'll have to do that. Right, exactly. I'm going to have to kind of break it up a little bit. Have to see how that's gonna work out. You know what? I had the same problem with the Caterium. Yeah, I had the same issue with the Caterium. Remember this? It's like 30 constructors do the balancing of the input, but then the output, I would actually need 32 constructors to fill 4 Mark IV belts. So I have the same issue with this. So you mean the sixth one is it put at 70% or a seventh one? So having 7 constructors. All right. Then I need the alternate stator. So that uses quick wire, 60 per minute. Wire is also 60 per minute. Okay. And pipes are 18 a minute. This is a pretty easy thing to work out. Such odd numbers. I don't like it. I'm going to have to... I think what I'm going to end up doing... Well, was there a way I could still use 6 and simply overclock by using one shard in multiple of the machines? So that those 6... I could do that. So those 6 machines themselves would do the trick. Because then I could have 5 sets. I could have 5 belts coming out. Okay, so 2 pipes, 36 a minute to feed 2 machines. So pipe, I can have 1 line of pipe. All right, so I'm gonna have to sit down and kind of chew on this a bit. But the thing is with this at 67.5 a minute. Uh, 67.5 times 150 or yeah 50%. That's 101.25 times. Okay, I can do that. I can totally do that. So that would give me 5 full belts of Mark IV belts of wire, and that would be 1 iron ingot belt. So then all I need is 30 shards. And last I checked, I have them way at the hub if I can make it all the way over there. Oops, that is going the wrong way. Oh my god, lag. 7 frames per second. Is this one going the right way? Yeah. Up, 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 up. I think I have him here. Yep, okay. So I only need 30 shards. I have 56, so we're good with that. Perfect. So 30 constructors at 112% each. Yes, pleasure doing business with you. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and sign off. Thanks very much for watching. I hope you got something out of it, whether it be a laugh or a new hot tip or just inspiration, or maybe you inspired me, which happens all of the time. Thank you very much. And I'm not sure I'm going to be back tonight, this evening. We'll see, but I'll definitely be back tomorrow, I imagine, and trying to do more. So, all right. I hope I see you later. Good luck on catching some fish. And later, Nitro. And everybody else that is stopped by. Have a good evening or a day or whatever it is works for you. Bye.